Hey there, it's PJ. I'm here in my office. It is Wednesday afternoon. Dory has just put out the announcement that we are canceling services for Wednesday afternoon and evening, so no confirmation on live. We talked about what we might do, upload the video, or maybe I would do the teaching video, and so here I am doing the teaching video. So this evening, we are beginning a 4-week series about identity, belonging, and purpose. Hopefully at the end of the series, we'll have a better understanding of questions and answers. We are continuing to use the ReThink curriculum. What they are hoping and wanting is the following. Our biggest questions deserve better answers. That's the theme for the 4 weeks. Now, throughout the series, you may see me push back at that just a little, but more on that later. Tonight, it is all about knowing Jesus changes everything. Now, if we were in person, I would invite an individual to come on up. I need somebody to read the Gospel of Matthew. And then I would thank you for reading it. But nobody's here, so I'm going to have to read the scripture. So here we go. Matthew chapter 4, verses 18 through 20. Walking along the beach of Lake Galilee, Jesus saw two brothers, Simon, later called Peter, and Andrew. They were fishing, throwing their nets into the lake. It was their regular work. Jesus said to them, "Come with me. I'll make you a new kind of fishermen. I'll show you how to catch men and women instead of perch and bass." They didn't ask questions, but simply dropped their nets and followed. When I think about all the ministries that I have been involved in, my mind goes back to Discovery United Methodist Church in Hoover, Alabama. We as a church was hearing from the community that there was nothing for middle school students to do. The church that I was serving at had some financial flexibility, so we decided we would host Friday night parties every Friday night. It was an open house, free-for-all, and at times it got crazy, as we had 80 middle school students involved in the ministry. We had a number of adults who volunteered, and often they would say to me afterwards, "Jeff, middle school students, they ask the best questions." Sometimes they were simple. "Do you put coleslaw on top of the pulled pork for sandwich time? Can we serve chocolate pudding out of a new toilet? Because then it would look like." What would happen if we got a mattress and we surfed down the steps? Sometimes they were more difficult to answer. My parents, they're divorced, and one of them wants to spy on the other. What should I do? My friends, they are having a sleepover on Saturday night, and they snooped at school, and they have Monday morning's test. I need the A. Should I go? The guy that I'm dating is really pressuring me to do more than what I want to do. How do I stop the pressure without losing him? Once in a while, they were spiritual. What does it mean to follow Jesus? And that question plays into our scripture nicely. Trying to figure out what it means to follow Jesus can be confusing. Each one of us may have a different answer. I am hoping that you will engage with me. So here we go. If we were in person, I'd ask you the question and hopefully we would have a conversation back and forth. But here, write it down, send me a note, or tell me next time you see me. Following Jesus means fill in the blank. When I was your age, I leaned into attending church on Sunday morning, Sunday evening, and Wednesday night. Yep, It was no question asked. Every week you were there at least those 3 times. That is where ReThink stands when they state, when it comes to our biggest questions, we need better answers, right? I mean, we need to know what following Jesus means. Individuals have been debating this for a long time. Maybe debating is a little too harsh of a word, so we'll go with the following. People throughout the centuries have been wondering what exactly it means to follow Jesus. Some of the first people to think about what following Jesus means were Jesus' disciples or followers. This evening, to start off the teaching time, we read in Matthew, a historical account that is found in the Bible, about Peter and Andrew, fishermen who were Jesus' disciples. A lot of what Matthew wrote down helps us figure out how knowing Jesus changes everything. We have 4 Gospels, and each of the Gospel shares about Jesus from a different angle. It's test time. What are the 4 Gospels in order? 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you ready? There you go. You got it. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Most excellent. So here's the story again from Matthew. One day, Jesus was walking along the shore of the Sea of Galilee. He saw 2 brothers, Simon, and also called Peter and Andrew, throwing a net into the water, for they fished for a living. Jesus called out to them, "Come, follow me, and I'll show you how to fish for people." And they left their nets and followed him. Now, can you imagine that? They dropped their nets and followed him immediately. Now, please remember, they were not just out there on a Saturday afternoon resting. This was their full-time job. Now, at this time in the history, disciples would literally follow religious leaders called rabbis. So Peter and Andrew may have wondered if that's what Jesus meant, but following Jesus ended up being so much more. When Jesus asked Andrew and Peter to follow him, Jesus didn't just ask them to follow rules or specific actions. Many times I think we have that mentality. Come on, you know the list of do's and don'ts that the church throws at you, or you have to get 100,000 points to be confirmed. Jesus just asked them to trust him. Come as they are and follow him on a journey. They went on a wild roller coaster ride with him for 3 years. Even though Andrew and Peter didn't know exactly what to do or expect when they followed Jesus, they trusted Jesus to lead them, and it changed everything in their lives. The same can be true for us. Maybe this excites you, maybe it scares you, or maybe it elicits the following response. Whatever. Here's the news that I want you to hear. Following Jesus isn't about knowing all the answers and having things figured out. It's about simply saying yes to go with Jesus and trust him to lead as you go. When you do, you'll experience how knowing Jesus changes everything. So this is my challenge. There's 3 of them. 1, think about what it means to follow Jesus and consider that it might mean something bigger than you imagine. 2, talk about what it means to follow Jesus with your small group or with Jesus himself. And 3, be open to how Jesus might be asking you to follow him to help you find some answers. So here it is, a final and wild thought for you to chew on. The disciples were invited to follow Jesus before they really believed or knew Jesus. And the good news is the same for us. You, yes you, can belong in this church. Follow Jesus before you even have a faith of your own. Thanks for engaging with me. Have a beautiful night. Go sled riding. Bye.